Coffeezilla is not a criminal. I called him. I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flare, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in.
So we finally have Logan Paul's third response to CryptoZoo and everything that went on, where he was threatening Coffeezilla with lawsuits and all that good stuff. But it's interesting to see that he posted this on Twitter instead of his YouTube page. Maybe that's because he thinks less people will see it, trying to distance himself and move on quietly from this whole situation. Or all of this stuff started seeping into his other businesses on YouTube from Prime and having to try to avoid the comments of people talking about CryptoZoo. After all, the fraud and scam kind of notions of everything going on, leaking into the legitimate businesses would not be a good thing, and that was happening. And moving on and trying to separate those two does make a lot of sense. Either way, we finally get Logan Paul's response to everything and his 3 steps in what he's going to do to make everything right. So let's see what he has to say.
Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game, and it will add value to holder tokens.
So step 1, burn his tokens. I guess that's a good thing, as long as it's done the right way, right? If he actually has everything set up correctly for these burn wallets where no one has access to it and the tokens are actually gone, then perfect, sure, great thing. But with the history of the team and the history of what went on with the project, can you super trust that it's going to be set up the right way? Maybe not. But assuming that it's done the right way and correctly burned and he gets rid of his tokens, sure, I guess it's a net positive that he doesn't have the ability to scam it. But at the end of the day, he wasn't the one who sold, but the people he put in charge of his team sold and beat him to that. It's a whole mess, but if it's done right, sure, maybe it's a step in the right direction. I don't think that's really a big deal and matters all that much, but that's his step 1.
Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially, you're going to be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out.
So there we go. This one is actually a good step, giving people their money back. I think that's what Logan should just do with this whole thing. Scrap CryptoZoo, get rid of it, throw it to the side, and just give everyone their money back. The money that they put in, just give it back. Sure, it might cost a few $1,000,000, but Logan Paul can afford it, and it would save his reputation, or at least try and save face. It would look good for a lot of people, and just throw it to the side, scrap it, move on, and try and ignore everything from here. But in what he says right now is a kind of like a fun setup, 1.3 million that he's gonna put in to give people money back on their eggs and stuff that they bought. But what happens after that money is gone? Is it simply first come, first serve? And I'm sure there's more than $1.3 million worth of people putting in money that would want to get money back. So what happens there? It does open a whole nother mess to why can't everyone who wants it get their money back and you just kind of make it right? Maybe that's a problem that's coming up. Maybe people are so into this JPEG game that they really just don't want their money back. I don't know, but that's something to know. What happens after this 1.3 million that he's putting up himself goes away? Does the option to cash out just go away with it?
And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to accrue your yield function.
I don't think this is a good idea or step for Logan. I think he should scrap the game, give everyone their money back, and move on. I think that would be the easiest thing to do, the best thing to do, and the best way forward. Because even if you make this game, and game, that's really a loose term there, but even if you make this thing, people aren't going to get their money back. It's so down, the token is so collapsed that people are not going to get their money back. Chances are, right? Maybe some miracle happens, but chances are people aren't going to be able to get back what they put in. It's already dead. Maybe this is some legal thing that he's got, that he has to put out a game to avoid lawsuits, or he feels that way or is being told that. I don't know. That could be. but he should just scrap it and move on.
To say I am disappointed in how this was handled internally is an understatement. There's a full internal investigation going on along with an audit, and we are going to pursue full legal action for whomever needs to be held accountable. If any money is recovered in the process, it'll go right to the community. My sole obligation is to my supporters, and I know this video is long overdue.
This, I feel like, internal investigation and saying, you know, hold people accountable legally and all that, I don't think he's actually going to do, because that would mean the group chat, market manipulation group chats would have to come out, of which he was a part of. And, you know, maybe he doesn't exactly want that to get out. So I don't think anything's really going to happen from this. I think he's just kind of saving face, trying to look good, say we're doing everything possible to do everything the right way. And I don't think he's actually going to go through with anything against like Crypto King or Eddie. He's just going to, you know, say this and say that he is, but ultimately not really do anything because he was a part of those group chats. But to end his response off, Logan actually takes a little bit of accountability, right? Not much, but at least he says that he's sorry.
Orders, and I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for how this has unfolded thus far, and I want people to know that they can trust me and that I'll always take care of the fans and people who support me. I appreciate your guys' patience while we do our internal investigation, and I promise to be transparent and disclose any information we find out in the process. And lastly, thank you, Coffeezilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that. Thank you, bro.
There we have it. We have a thank you to Coffeezilla, a Logan Paul apology, maybe just a sprinkle, not a lot of accountability taken from him there, but a little bit by saying sorry. So maybe that's off to a good start, but I don't think anything comes from the internal investigation. Like I said, he was part of those group chats, and that would have to come out. I don't think it's like he's just saving face. Nothing really to come from that. Coffeezilla's response now is what we wait for. He was waiting for Logan's response. So, you know, now we get to see what he was saying and if he has any new evidence or new things going on. But the CryptoZoo market was actually not happy with this response, right? So the like price of the coin we can see right here is actually down. It got basically cut in half for the last hour, which is around when Logan put his video up. If we go to Twitter, we can see he put it up 108
Coffeezilla is not a criminal.
p.m. here, 108 p.m. And if we go back to around here, this so almost right after this is a big collapse, getting cut in half. So people, I guess, not really excited about Logan Paul's third response. I don't know if it really matters, the price or whatever, but it's interesting to see the reaction, I guess, from his project price to his video that he put out, and it getting cut in half based off this response, which was a lot better than his previous ones. But now we wait for Coffeezilla, his response, and see if anything new comes out of this. And I'm probably just going to move on from CryptoZoo. Logan, I doubt he ever acknowledges this again, and just hopes and prays that it goes away and he can forget about the whole thing. But that's gonna do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.